There's a war waging in heaven.
To curse the lords of Salem, possessing the souls of the Salem women.
Is everything all right?
No. On a rare occasion, a special child appears.
God does not spare angels when they sin.
Welcome back to the 31 Days of Spooks. My name is Dylan Goebel, and today I'm talking about The Lords of Salem, released in 2013. It was written and directed by Rob Zombie, and it stars Sherry Moon Zombie, Ken Foree, Meg Foster, and among others. It tells the story of a disc jockey who ends up receiving a box containing a record, and that record is labeled A Gift from the Lords, which after listening to it, it triggers visions of the town's violent past. It's this movie's plot is kind of weird, and that's just all I'm going to explain if you have not seen this movie. And now you may be wondering, what did I think of this movie? Because obviously you clicked on it to hear my thoughts. So, I gotta say, The Lords of Salem is a damn solid movie, and a totally different movie from what Rob Zombie typically makes. And in this case, it's a good thing. This film, rather than being set in the South, is set in Salem, Massachusetts. And also, unlike most of Rob Zombie's movies, which are either just trying to recreate the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or just simply being a slasher film, this one goes for more supernatural horror, but with a lot of very trippy visuals and some very larger than life sets. And it's actually executed pretty fucking well. One thing that really shocked me about The Lords of Salem, even when I saw the movie for the first time, which was back in 2018, 2019, somewhere around there, I was actually surprised that Rob Zombie went for more atmosphere and mood for its horror. It's not that gory. I mean, there is some bloody parts in this movie. I kind of expected that because it's a Rob Zombie movie, but it's not a gore fest. This movie has a lot of atmosphere that it relies on. There's a lot of mood. This movie's sets and visuals are really creative and really well done. Rob Zombie really got his money's worth when it comes to that $1.5 million budget that he had making this movie. And it shows that it was put to good use, and it's really good. This is a really pretty movie to look at, I must say. Rob Zombie really showed how much he grew as a director in between this and something like Halloween 2. It was really impressive. And another thing I can praise about this movie is the performances, including Sherry Moon Zombie. I mean, yeah, Sherry Moon Zombie is not perfect in this movie. She's not given the best performance an actress can give, but she's giving in my opinion, she's never been better in any other Rob Zombie movie than this. She's really good here, surprisingly. She's not going so over the top. She's not making her voice so much higher pitched than what it actually is. She's actually giving a genuine performance here, and I really appreciated that. And it was great to see Ken Foree in this movie. You know, if you don't know who Ken Foree is, he was the guy in Dawn of the Dead, the original. You know, he's great. and he was also in movies like From Beyond. I will be reviewing From Beyond later on, so this won't be the last time you'll hear me talk about Ken Foree. But yeah, it was just a great time seeing all these old school horror actors be in this movie. But that's one thing Rob Zombie always did. Like even in Halloween, like the first Halloween anyways, there was a few old school faces in horror in that too. But that Halloween's for another time. But yeah, if you like throwbacks like old school horror, you'll really like The Lords of Salem quite a bit. Now I will say this movie is very short on scares. And I mean, the great part is no jump scares, at least from what I can recall. But if you're looking for a horror film that's heavy on scares, you're going to be very disappointed. This isn't really a movie that's relying on scares too much. And now, this isn't really an issue for me, but it will be an issue for a lot of other people, especially people who don't like Rob Zombie's movies at all. But some of the dialogue can get very, like, Rob Zombie-ish. I mean, he wrote this movie, but there's times where, like, the dialogue can become overly crude and profane. And normally, like, for the most part, that doesn't really bother me in Rob Zombie movies or movies in general. It does sometimes bother me with Rob Zombie movies. You'll find out when I review Halloween 2 next year. But, yeah, if you're not really into that, you're gonna find this movie quite aggravating at times. And the one main issue for me, though, besides the lack of scares, even though I did appreciate the lack of jump scares, was that this movie does get a bit slow. Even though this movie's not very long, it's only like an hour and a half without credits, but there's times where I feel like this movie could have used something just to give it an extra boost in entertainment value. But that's just me. It does make up for a lot of that with its atmosphere and its creative visuals and its performances. But yeah, if you want a slightly more entertaining Rob Zombie movie, yeah, just go watch The Devil's Rejects or House of a Thousand Corpses. But I just really enjoy this movie for how creative it is, how well acted it is, surprisingly, and just the visuals in this movie really make it so much better too. I really like The Lords of Salem. I highly recommend it. It's a really good movie to watch around this time of year. It's got like those satanic visuals and great colors, like color palettes that fit in the spooky season. I think it's a really solid movie to watch. I think it's one of Rob Zombie's better movies for sure. I am going to give The Lords of Salem a B plus.